Today's review was made possible by my friends over at the DJ Hookup. Order your DJ hardware at thedjhookup.com. Hey there, what's up, passionate DJs, and welcome to one of my favorite topics for video, which is standalone DJ systems. Now, basically, if you're not familiar, all that really means and what makes that different than a DJ controller is a DJ controller requires the use of a laptop and software. You're using it to control the software, whereas this will work entirely on its own. You can just add music, such as from a USB stick. Then you plug it into the house mixer or your speakers or whatever the sound's going to, and you're ready to go. Now, this is a segment of the market that has grown exponentially in the last couple of years, and my last Standalones guide was one of my more popular videos, and so there have been a couple things released since then, and so I decided it was time to do a 2024 update to this guide. Now, primarily, these devices are going to be broken into two different categories. There's going to be the Pioneer DJ and Alpha Theta devices, which run Rekordbox, and then there's going to be the Denon DJ and Newmark devices, which run Engine OS. Now, generally speaking, both of these platforms are meant to do the same thing, which is to be an operating system that runs on the device itself, that does everything that you need it to do that DJ software would have done if you had a laptop. So all the mixing, all the effects, all those things happen on the board, and it lives within the ecosystem that you choose. So if you have a great preference for Rekordbox or Engine already, then, well, you can cut your recommendations basically in half and just pick one of those. But if you're not sure, that's where this guide comes in, because there's a lot of crossover, but there's also a lot of little bits where it's like, oh, I didn't realize this was missing from the competitor, and so on. So I hope to break it all down for you so that you can make a wise choice when it comes to making a decision and purchasing your own standalone DJ system, which, if you decide to do, I really hope that you'll decide to do it from thedjhookup.com. Now, the DJ Hookup is the sponsor of today's video, which really pleases me because they're also the highest rated DJ retailer online, with thousands of 5-star reviews that you could go read right now. They offer fast, free shipping, 90-day returns, and financing options. The DJ Hookup is staffed with friendly, knowledgeable DJs who will help answer any questions that you have in the little chat bar down below. They're also our longest-running sponsor here on Passionate DJ, and they've consistently been one of our biggest supporters. So if you like to support the people that support us, then please buy from thedjhookup.com, because they sell DJ equipment to their friends. It's that simple. Okay, so let's first go over the Rekordbox-powered devices, and we're going to start with the ultimate flagship device from Alpha Theta. This is the Pioneer DJ opus-quad. This new professional all-in-one DJ system gives access to 4-deck playback from a USB device or the cloud, provides inputs for turntables or CDJs, includes Bluetooth, which is great for taking the odd request, and will act as a fully featured DJ controller using Rekordbox or Serato software. The unit includes full-size jog wheels with a new grippy design, and they're outlined with RGB illumination, which is assignable per deck. By default, it's lit in this sort of amber color to match the aesthetics of this controller. It includes a class-leading main screen with electrostatic touch module, and it supports all the main Rekordboxy things that you'd expect, such as RGB or tricolor waveforms, in addition to the classic blue. The bottom part of the screen is the mixer information display, and this is where you configure your mics, your channel settings, and also assign your beat effects. The screen also includes an XY pad, so you can control effects parameters with the slide of a finger. Important knobs are trimmed with this coppery color, such as the large multifunction browse knob, which Pioneer DJ calls the Smart Rotary Selector. It's kind of like a knob and a joystick all in one. Mobile and bar DJs will appreciate the zone output. Now, this lets you send a completely separate signal to a different room, in case you need some fancy dinner music in one place and a pump and dance floor in another. The opus-quad continues Pioneer DJ's recent focus on sound quality. It's got a high-quality 32-bit digital analog converter from ESS Technology, and everyone in the room here agreed that it sounded really nice. Okay, next up is the Pioneer xdj-xz. That comes in at $24.99. Now, this is a professional-grade standalone DJ system, which, although it's a little bit older, provides kind of an in-between option for the opus-quad and the RX3 that we're about to talk about. More than any other setup that we're going to talk about today, the XZ provides the most sort of CDJ standard experience. Other than a shared screen, this is almost exactly like using a set of CDJ-2000 Nexus 2s and a DJM-900 mixer. And that includes its use of 4 channels, but be careful because it's a little bit deceiving. It is a 4-channel mixer, but it only plays 2 decks in standalone mode. So, those extra channels could be used for your external inputs or for control over software decks. It does support being used as a controller for Serato or Rekordbox DJ. Now, unfortunately, you just can't play 4 simultaneous tracks from your USB drive the way you can on the opus-quad. Now, you do also get full DVS control, which means that you can use timecode records to manipulate your tracks. You get 14 beat effects and 6 sound color effects, which come straight off of the iconic DJM-900 Nexus 2 mixer. And, consolidating these 3 units into one with grab handles helps eliminate all those wires and all that stuff, and it really drastically reduces the price as compared to a Nexus 2 rig. So this was the first standalone unit to feature Pro DJ Link support. This is the protocol that lets Pioneer DJ hardware share music and track data and sync info over a network cable. So this means that you could plug any compatible device like a CDJ-2000, Nexus 2, or an xdj-1000 or something like that, and browse track data from those players and sync BPM across all those devices, and it'll work with the XZ. And it also acts as an Ethernet hub, so you don't need to have a separate one to link all that stuff together. All in all, it's really a great all-in-one professional DJ booth device that's meant to be the central hub of your whole setup. Now, next up is the xdj-rx3, and all things being equal, if I were given no other information about budget or anything like that, this would be my general recommendation for one of these Pioneer or Rekordbox powered standalone units. The RX3 kind of sports this refined design that brings it to parity with other modern Pioneer DJ hardware, like CDJ-3000s. So the screen received a massive upgrade, and it's got proper color on-jog displays, which give you visual feedback right here at your hands. And the mixer section was largely expanded, so basically it's like a 2-channel version of the DJM-900 Nexus 2. It's got a few differences, like it doesn't have a Magvel crossfader, but it does have many of the latest features to grace the Pioneer DJ lineup. The most notable and obvious is the huge 10.1-inch touchscreen. It's got a really high resolution and frame rate, and it really just gives it this premium feel. It also inherits the enhanced browse section and 3-band waveforms from the CDJ-3000. And by the way, those jog wheels feel buttery smooth, and the faders feel perfectly solid. You get access to every one of the 14 beat effects and the 6 sound color effects that you'll find on one of those Pioneer mixers. In fact, this whole setup really pretty much comes functionally close to emulating a CDJ-3000 setup. That would actually cost you north of $6,000, so that makes the $2,000 price tag of this RX3 feel a little more palatable. It's important to note, though, that the RX3 is a 2-channel affair, so that aside, it's just loaded full of features while feeling very much like a single-screen CDJ-3000 setup that you can use at home. So let's talk about the xdj-rr. This costs just over $1,000, and so it's probably the closest thing that you're going to find to a value when it comes to Pioneer DJ gear. Now, of course, at half the price of an RX3, it is going to come with some compromise. Now, outside of a single auxiliary input, there aren't any connections for external devices. This is really meant to be an in-the-box device, so you won't find any RCA ports for, turntables or CDJs. You can use it with your laptop as a controller, with Rekordbox only. There's no Serato. It is a rather small and light device compared to all these except for the omnis-duo. And it is a decent value for something with this high of build quality, but you do get the idea that you're using something a little bit more entry level. Not in regard to the build quality, it's just not nearly as loaded with features. So, for example, there's only a couple of onboard effects. The jog wheels aren't quite as nice. The screen is high quality, but it's not a touch screen, so you can't do keyboard search. It's little things like that. The omnis-duo is an extremely portable, standalone DJ unit with a built-in battery that they claim will last around 5 hours of playtime. It's got a familiar 2 decks and a mixer with touchscreen layout, and it's on this sleek blue finish that they're referring to as indigo. It's a pretty modest size and weight. It's about 10 pounds. And it's got a nice minimalist design here with nice short stubby little controls and things, and this should make for easy backpack transport. Now this has Bluetooth input and output, which is kind of interesting. This is a first for standalone DJ systems. Now, as far as music sources, you can play a USB stick or an SD card. You can also do Rekordbox performance mode by connecting your laptop, and Serato Lite will be coming soon. You can connect to that via USB-C, or you could use wireless play via Cloud Direct Play. So let's talk about deciding between the Rekordbox standalone. So like I said, by default, I recommend the xdj-rx3 across the entire Pioneer DJ Alpha Theta lineup. It's just the one that's most similar to a CDJ-3000 setup, right down to that big, beautiful high-res screen that's just among the best in the industry. And, you know, as with all the Pioneer DJ devices, it's going to seem like a value in comparison to the CDJ-based setup that it's copying. But the hardest sell is, you know, you are paying $2,000 for a 2-channel device. Now, most DJs don't use more than 2 channels, but many do, even if it's just as a prep, you know, or a loop deck. So if you want true 4-channel mixing in standalone mode, you've got to go to the opus-quad. That's the only Rekordbox device that does that right now. And of course, $31.99 is just insanely expensive for most DJs, but it does include features well suited towards mobile DJs and high-end corporate gigs, you know, such as the secondary zone output and a focus on high sound quality. In fact, the entire workflow has been kind of redesigned around this demographic. It really separates itself from the traditional sort of CDJ interface and has a unique design. But that said, at this price, it should be able to do it all, and it does. If you want a little bit more of a traditional CDJ-like experience, that's where the xdj-xz comes in. Now again, this is only a 4-channel system in the sense that it has 4 mixer channels. It only supports 2 decks in standalone mode. Now this is an absolute beast of a machine, and it's more geared towards, you know, the club and festival DJ wanting that full 900 Nexus 2 experience. Now, admittedly, it's starting to feel a little bit last generation, you know, when compared to like the RX3, but it is a tried and true formula based on that CDJ-2000 workflow. The xdj-rr, in a sense, is the Rekordbox standalone that you buy if the others aren't within your budget. So I don't mean to be tough on the RR, it's not a bad device, it's just a limited one. But if your budget is around $1,000 and you insist on using Rekordbox, I might actually push you towards considering a high-end DJ controller to use with your laptop instead. Which brings us to the battery-powered omnis-duo. Now this is a lovely, if imperfect, device that really leans into minimalism and portability. So if what you care about is being able to play a DJ set anywhere from the hotel room to the lobby to the pool, yeah, this is a great choice for that. And it also works as a DJ controller, but honestly, I found it to be kind of limiting in this regard, so I wouldn't buy it to use for that purpose. The dark blue color is a love-hate thing for many DJs, but the convenience of these sort of hyper-portable systems is really hard to deny. Alright, so let's talk about the devices that are powered by Engine OS. So this is going to be the Denon DJ and Numark devices. And we're going to start with the Prime 4 Plus. Now this is $21.99, and the original Prime 4 was a generational leap when it came out, and its feature set for the price remains unrivaled. The 6-inch jog wheels are slightly smaller than its Pioneer counterparts, though they're still really good quality, and it's got this great 10-inch adjustable HD display. And it's just as big and beautiful as the one on the RX3, but it also supports multi-touch gestures. It has 4 assignable inputs, so you can use those to connect media players or turntables, and it does have a suite of effects that come straight from Denon's X1850 Prime mixer. It can play music straight from one of its 4 USB inputs or from an SD card, and it even includes a 2.5-inch SATA drive bay, so that means you can actually carry your music around on an internal hard drive. It supports uncompressed music, FLAC and WAV files, and you can use any one of these sources to record your DJ sets. Now, when this updated Plus version was released, it added the ability to access Amazon Music as a source, but it also bumped up the price from its original $18.99. It makes for a pretty decent Serato DJ or virtual DJ controller, and it does timecode as well. Now, if we move to the SC Live 4 for $12.99, now this might be the best example of bang for buck in this entire video, being that it's a fully featured 4-channel system. Now, with its built-in Wi-Fi, 7-inch multi-touch display, 3 media slots, and several streaming services with which to source your tunes, the Live 4 is an entire DJ system in a box. And this is even further reinforced by the inclusion of really decent-sounding onboard speakers. Now, for $12.99, you might expect this level of DJ controller, but the fact that it's a standalone makes it a stellar value. The onboard speakers make it perfect for practicing at home and doing live streams, yet it's completely at home in the club or any other type of gig. And then we get to the Prime Go, which is right at $1,000, and there are different things that DJs value when it comes to DJ controllers, but a universally praised trait is convenience. And the Prime Go is the ultimate in convenience. It's a no-frills, standalone 2-channel DJ system that, of course, runs Engine OS, and it has all the basics that you need for mixing: hot cues, effects, EQs, and filters, and even Wi-Fi streaming in a really easy-to-carry package. But the real standout feature is its 4-hour battery. Now, this allows you to pop on some headphones and bring it with you in a train, plane, or automobile. Now, the Prime Go was the first of these sort of standalone DJ systems that featured battery power, and it's supposed to last for about 4 hours. Now, this unit's not chock full of features, but its convenient size and weight, combined with really exceptional build quality and really smooth jog wheels, do help to inspire confidence. And then we need to talk about the Mixstream Pro and the Mixstream Pro Plus. Not long after the release of the Prime Go came the Numark Mixstream Pro, which offered an extremely attractive price, and it also offered a new feature up to the market: onboard speakers. Now, this feature is starting to show up in other products, such as the SC Live 4, but offering this feature on such a well-priced piece of hardware is truly impressive. When it was released, I had commented that it would be great if there was a product that existed that combined the battery power of the Prime Go with the onboard speakers of the Mixstream Pro. Well, guess what? Enter the Mixstream Pro Go. Now, at $839, it gives you both speakers and battery power, and it gives you the ability to access Amazon Music as a source. Now, while clearly being a budget option, you just get an insane number of features for the price, and it runs the same Engine OS as all the other Denon DJ standalones. So let's talk about deciding between these Engine OS standalones. Now, these products are always meant to be a value proposition, and that's made clear in this lineup of Engine OS all-in-ones. The SC Live 4 packs so much punch for the price that it's a no-brainer for many types of DJs, so I'm going to consider this the default recommendation. We were all shocked when it was released with full 4-channel support at $12.99. So this is an obvious option for anyone who doesn't need external inputs for turntables or other players, as that is one of the few things missing here. The 7-inch screen feels a little cramped in comparison to the 10-inch one found on the Prime 4 Plus, but it's still crispy and bright. And by the way, did I mention it has onboard speakers? Now that said, the Prime 4 Plus is probably the most powerful standalone DJ system on the market today in terms of, the number of features that are offered. This is the flagship standalone from Denon DJ, which adds the ability to mix external players or turntables, as well as a ton of other features that are geared towards mobile DJs, such as a second zone output so that you can send music to another room. The ability to install a hard drive or use it as a controller with Serato or Virtual DJ only adds to that versatility. So if you want a device that does everything, this is probably the one to choose. I've made a video which extensively compares the SC Live 4 with the original Prime 4, that's the non-plus version, which you can see in the link below. However, the first version of the Prime 4 was released at $18.99 versus $21.99, so if you can still find one of those and you don't need Amazon Music, you can save yourself some money. The Prime Go and the Numark Mixstream lineup represent the portable side of the market. They're budget-friendly and bare bones, and they serve specific needs. So the Prime Go is the most expensive and premium feeling of this group. It's got really nice build quality, and it's got really smooth, albeit very small, jog wheels. There's an easy-to-use effects section, though there's really only a handful of really simple effects available. Now, by moving to the Mixstream Pro Go, you get both the speakers and the battery power, which is, again, just a killer value proposition for $839. But if you don't need that battery, you can get the Mixstream Pro Plus for only $699, and you still have an extremely portable standalone system with built-in speakers. Just don't expect them to sound as good as the ones on the SC Live 4. Overall, the experience between the Go and the Mixstream products is very similar, though the Mixstream does have paddle-style effects. Now finally, we should talk a little bit about cross-shopping between the Engine OS and Rekordbox products here. Now overall, the Denon DJ and Numark products we've discussed today are going to have the better bang for buck when it comes to features. I sort of compare it to automobile companies like Kia and Hyundai, who have worked really hard in recent years to kind of amaze us with the premium experience they can offer for the money. Now Pioneer DJ and Alpha Theta have had the advantage of being the club and festival industry standard for many years now. Now, this is not the only reason to choose Rekordbox gear, but it is a big consideration for some. It may be important to consider now which is more important to you, budget friendliness or Rekordbox familiarity. I'll also say without hesitation that the Pioneer DJ and Alpha Theta hardware has better effects. This has never really been Denon DJ's strong suit, so this might be an important consideration for you. If you intend to use streaming services like Tidal or Beatport Link, you should look only at the Engine OS devices for now, as they are the only ones that support them. So let's compare the opus-quad or the xdj-xz with the Prime 4 Plus. These are your 4-channel devices which support external sources. Now remember, the XZ only plays 2 decks in standalone mode. Now if you want to be able to mix from turntables, CDJs, and so on, in addition to standalone, these are going to be your options. The Prime 4 Plus is still the overall winner of the Most Features award. Its screen is just as nice or nicer than the opus-quad, and it tilts. If you want something that does it all, choose the Prime 4 Plus. The opus-quad and the Prime 4 Plus both support a second zone output, and as 4-channel high-end devices, they're well suited towards mobile gigs. The xdj-xz is a little more geared towards club and festival DJs, but admittedly it's starting to show its age in comparison to newer Pioneer stuff. And don't forget, if you do pony up for the opus-quad, you are paying for some class-leading sound quality. Now, in comparing the xdj-rx3 with the SC Live 4, I kind of consider these your 2 high-end, in-the-box mixing consoles. Now, they're both very nice, have great build quality, and provide what I'd consider to be a premium experience. The RX3 does support external sources, however, only with 2 channels, so you have to replace one of your standalone decks to do this, and you can't use timecode records with it. So the SC Live 4 doesn't support external sources at all, but it does play 4 channels standalone, and you're not going to find that at this kind of price point anywhere else. And the fact that it does include onboard speakers in addition to a booth output is just icing on the cake. Honestly, the speakers even sound pretty nice. Now, both machines have nice screens, but the SC Live 4's is notably smaller and thus feels kind of cramped, especially when using 4 channels. Now, the RX3 has one of the best looking screens I've ever seen on a piece of DJ gear, as it comes straight off of the CDJ-3000. Now, these two are my standard recommendations for any DJ who doesn't tell me their budget. Obviously, the SC Live 4 will be the best value, and it's the only option if you need to use streaming services, but the RX3 has way better effects, a way better screen, and a top-tier user experience. So then we move to the omnis-duo, the Prime Go, and the Mixstream products. Now, these are your hyper-portables. They focus on minimalism and lightweight design. The omnis-duo is an attractive option because it offers the most battery life and it has Bluetooth input and output built right in. Prime Go is nice for 2 main reasons. The first is build quality. To me, it's the best in this segment. And the second is the smoothness of those jog wheels. Now, while they are small, they're just a joy to use. However, it's hard to beat the value offered by Numark here. Specifically, the Mixstream Pro Go, the one with the speakers and the battery, at $839 is the ultimate option if portability is what you want. Now, no, the speakers are not going to rock a whole large room, but for set prep or playing around with a few friends or trying out ideas, it's just perfect. So my recommendation here is to go with the Mixstream variant that works for you, unless those built-in Bluetooth options are where it's at for you. But bear in mind that you're doubling the cost, so perhaps consider an external wireless transmitter of some kind instead. And so we bring it to a close. That is my Standalone's guide for now. Of course, this is an ever-evolving part of the market, right? So there's going to be, I'm sure, another update to this video coming in the future. You can also always go to passionatedj.com/standalones and go to the most updated written version of this guide, which might be a little more updated than the video. If any of these devices are speaking to you and you think that they are the right one for you, once again, head on over to the djhookup.com. They make these kind of videos possible. We love them, and if you like supporting the people that support us, go give them a holler. And with that said, that's my Standalone's guide. Thank you so much, and as always, keep on spinning.